Hello, good people. Welcome to Broken Windows 256. I'm your co-host, Shadrack Manano.
Joel Oteam.
And we're back again. Like every day, you find us here Fridays on YouTube.
On YouTube.
This is where we live, by the way.
Yeah.
The bedroom is just there.
You man.
No, but some people have actually asked me, like, hey,
Even me, someone visited, I was like, "Guy, your house is different from the one on YouTube." I would give a shout out to the owner of the house. Yes,
for
he
letting
knows
us
himself,
use,
but
for letting us,
for
use,
letting
this
us
place.
use this place and also drink his drinks.
True.
Yeah, we appreciate you, sir.
Today we're talking about culture clashing.
Yeah.
Or culture clashes.
Culture clashes. In other words, different cultures trying to
mix
coexist.
in this global village of ours.
Exactly.
In this one WhatsApp group.
Yes, in this one WhatsApp group. Like a Muhima, who their culture, for instance, allows them or used to allow them to marry their cousins, meeting an Itesot man, or a Sabine, who is mutilated. Yes. By the way, these are facts of this world, by the way. Have you ever met a girl who is mutilated?
What do you mean mutilated? Like FGM?
FGM, yes.
I don't think.
Yeah, and I don't think they move with shirts. I am.
Yes.
But yes, these are the different cultures that we're talking about.
So maybe I like it with the lights off, so I never see. You know that those guys, always the lights
are off. Yeah. Such people grew up in northern Uganda. There's little power. I saw Umeme that time saying, Gulu district, there will be no power for 2 days. I was like, the entire district?
Yeah.
Entire district, no power, bruv.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But anyway, back to
culture clashes. Let's first talk about the first space, work.
Yeah.
Work, like culture clashes at work.
Yep.
Those are those bosses who, let's say you have like a Muhima boss, not a Muhima, a Muchiga boss. More aggressive than for you, you may be.
You're Mutoro. Or you're just calm.
You're just calm, and it creates all those problems because maybe we're not so different, but in Uganda, some cultures are very different.
Yeah, a lot of cultures.
You can get a real culture shock.
Yep, when certain things, I think, unlike in the US or in certain countries out of Uganda, the cultures are actually seen. You can know black, Asian, and then white, and the grade. But here, we are all the same people, but
test it for yourself.
You have to test it for yourself to notice, wait, these people, you are actually okay with this. I remember telling, back where I stay or where I'm from, some of the girls are very okay with what? With being beaten. You know, as a man, if you don't beat me, you don't show me you love me. I was like, what? Then even you hear from your grandparents that, no, you need to discipline your woman. When she says something, slap her, let her go to the kitchen. You know, and now our culture clash is also between an exposed, because we are millennials who are exposed, who have accepted that there are certain things that are actually wrong. But then when we go back to the village, you have to kneel down and wash plates. You see feminists on Twitter talking, hey, when they go back to Chalo, they're the ones wearing the lesu, washing plates. They go back to default mode. And, you know, there's a pretense in there because we're trying to accommodate someone in.
And that culture clash also creates like a sort of identity crisis.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what to become. Should I be this thing or the other thing?
Or the other thing.
For example, in a space like a family setting, like two people have gotten together, they're like maybe married or in a committed relationship. This one's from a different culture, like I've said, and the other guy is from a different culture. And maybe things like, for example, now that is fighting, and not fighting, domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
But then other things like the way the home is run. Some people, we want to see the things done like this. The man expects every evening when I come back, you all come down, you
kneel down and
make milk tea there.
Yeah.
You have to wait for him to drink it before you can eat your food.
Like that thing always plays me how Baganda women call their husbands, Mukama wange. What? It is okay here, but I know with you, it plays you. Some Muganda girl has visited you the next morning, you wake up, she has washed everything. And you're like, what, bro? Because this is a shock to you. And it is something that you've never seen before, but it's something practiced by these other people.
How about those cultures where the women are, let's say, more aggressive or more assertive? Assertive is the word, like probably northern Uganda or like Karamoja.
Yes.
Where they actually had this culture where if you wanted a bride, you'd have to first wrestle her.
To wrestle her and what.
So you can't just come. You have to,
Me, I
have
think
to
you
make
have to
research.
convince the girl that, man, hey, yo, for me, you see me as me, eh? I have very little energy. I'm not going to, so just loosen yourself. I don't want you to
Don't
fight me. Hey,
overfight.
don't
Don't
overfight.
overfight.
Because what if the bride throws you down?
Then the marriage you can't
The marriage
work.
can't work. It
The
ends
marriage
there.
can't work. And if you're going into that culture, you have to be willing to accept that. But
Yeah.
I think like one of our biggest problems now today is that we don't want to accept that we have different cultures and there's going to be clash. We just want people to be like us.
To be like us.
You people, how are you like that? What? For example, like feminists.
I think feminists in the African continents are very delusional because we see things on TV or we see as others are doing it, and we forget that those people have actually created their culture or their way of life.
It has
to
been a
suit.
journey,
It has been a journey to accept certain things to fall in. For you can't just come in and you accept, I will use a dildo. Like you're married, then a married man sees it and you feel it's bad that he has gotten pissed about it. No.
But you've touched on something very true. Us as millennials, we have a sort of material culture. We like buying things, owning things,
I know. We just
like these possessions. And then the older guys are not even in those things.
They are not in those
They
things.
like respect. What? Have you
Exactly.
greeted me today? Have you knelt down?
Have you knelt down? Have you thanked me for doing this and what? You know? And your parents you can't talk back to your parent like, man, I paid your fees. But this way, a millennial can talk back to their parent and be like, and the dad also accepts, hey, by the way, you were right when you said this and this.
I've heard about those stories about people with parents like that, but
yeah, but those are also parents who are exposed. Probably people who have studied abroad. Their parents studied abroad or lived there.
But what is this thing of studying abroad? What is the
studying abroad or living there is you've been exposed to a different view from what you've seen, and you've seen it work. Like it has actually worked. The fear that people have is, what if I accept and it doesn't work? What if I accept my woman to pay 10% or 30%, 50% or 70% of the things at home and it doesn't work? They will blame me that I'm not a man enough. You're broke, you cannot pay fees, but you're getting loans. Your woman is making more money than you, but because you have that thing in you, I'm a man. As in my culture, a man should do this, a man should do this. You're resisting to that. You get? You're not okay with doggy style.
because of your culture.
You don't want a woman to ride you.
A
woman should only missionary. You know?
No, you don't want
you don't want a woman to ride you. You want that
is a real culture clash.
Yeah, that is a proper culture. Even in these sex positions, there's so much culture clash. That is why you're not okay with anal sex. And I am also not okay.
It's a good disclaimer. You had us there.
I had you. But yes, as Africans, you know, but I'm seeing something about Africans is, we allow ourselves to accept these things with time. We are slowly accepting homosexuality in our... we have kept quiet from when the
not accepting, maybe say tolerating.
You just sit there, then you just
this guy's also why have they come here?
Then you
but you guys, why didn't you tell us
why
these
did
guys
you
are
tell
going
us
to be
that
here?
exactly, you get
That is
you accept it with time, and we are prone to adjustment. We allowed even foreigners to come and claim that this is their land at some point, and they owned us.
And now even the younger generation is even changing more. For us, our culture, our social culture has come from maybe America and Europe. The music there, what that's
Very
what has
true.
really influenced us. And then
Very,
lately,
very true.
for millennials, a lot it's really like West Africa, Nollywood and Afrobeats.
Yeah.
Now, these younger guys, the chicks are into K-pop. They're listening to Korean.
By the way, man.
Like, I don't
By
get
the
it.
I also don't get it. Why? But I
BTS Army.
BTS Army. And this is to our former guest, Rose Basemera. And I even asked you, like, what is the obsession with BTS?
It is just a cultural thing.
It's a culture thing. Also, I think because they watch so much Korean soaps.
That's also a cultural thing. Yeah.
Very, very true.
That's also
Very,
a cultural thing.
very
For
true.
us, our interests are very different. To watch, what is
Porn.
it?
No, but we watch American movies. And what. That's why you see guys really want to gym. Like, you actually take up certain things that you see men in these movies actually doing.
Oh, by the way, before you go away from gymming, how you've brought it to like that thing of what happens when we conflict with that, like American culture or like European cultures. For example, homosexuality. In Africa, we really don't agree with it, but also there are other things like, I wouldn't say equality between women, but maybe, sorry, equality between the sexes, but maybe the way they treat women is better than the way we treat women here in Africa. So sometimes African men, they don't want those things.
They don't.
We have seen so many failed marriages where our African brothers, they go and get a Mzungu woman that side and then they start complaining. They're asking why they did not boil them water, not cook for them food.
Can you imagine I reached home
She
and
said she's a vegetarian. Ah, my friend, that's what you wanted. Don't complain.
Hey, you got your green card and vegetables for herself.
And vegetables.
So it's a green world out here. But yes, I think we, as people, and I'm saying this, putting myself also there, we are very selective on what we want. We choose like, I want this, 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 this.
That is not being selective. That you should say we are just whores.
Yeah.
Choice whores.
Choice
We want
horse. Hey, we want
everything,
exactly. But when we realize that these things actually come with certain consequences, like they will come with this, and that is when we start complaining. That is why women out there who are African want feminism, but when you tell them, bruh, pay half of the bill. As a man, I thought you were against chauvinism, man. I thought you were against the whole thing of men. You see, you only want the good side, but you don't want the other, you don't want to put in the work. But that also applies to us as also men. You know, we say we want to be alpha males, we want to be, you know, attractive and be able to dominate and what. Bruh, you're the one getting very fat. You're the one not gymming. You're the one not working on your health. And then you're out there also talking about body shaming and all. Like, show yourself that you can actually do work, because you're claiming the women are not doing work to fit in a relationship.
Another thing that maybe men are also struggling, some culture we want to accept but we're not sure about, is this thing of, I don't want to say accept, but it is simping. I know I've talked a lot about simping on Broken Windows, but nowadays men simp. There's a story I saw of a man who sold his kidney to get his girlfriend an iPhone. What I think Hollywood has also like promoted this idea of like a man should do everything for love, what, and all, and so now that is what we have. Men here who are doing the most.
Yeah,
like Luasa, those guys doing sex tape. Men are doing the most.
Men are doing so much, but I think this is my view. Is, man, you eventually get someone you're ready to simp for. Whether you want it or not, you will eventually get someone who you will compromise. Simping is actually total compromise. We're going to allow certain things to happen that you were not allowing in your normal life. You're like, man, it is what it is, man. I claim I like this person. I should allow this to happen. So it's really hard out there, especially for guys in our generation who are looking to nut.
Because it's so true. Well, as millennials, I think we're living at a time where like there is the biggest culture clash of the world, because everyone is now struggling to put their influence over us.
Over us.
The church, social media, the government, women.
Foreign imperialists.
It's so we're always just struggling.
I saw people fearing to tweet about the Queen and one like, hey man, me, I plan to go, I plan to get a visa to study in the UK. I can't be saying anything bad about our country. Or they block their entire list and leave a few radical people like us who will see these things. Because you know, man, you can't be hard forever, my G.
You can't be hard forever.
You can't be hard. If you're very hard, you end up staying in the village there as a herdsman.
I think part of our millennial culture is that you have to accept. Today you can be hard, tomorrow you're a simp.
You're a simp, man. Asante. I think this is all I have to rant on on this particular topic.
Me too, me too, me too.
So thank you so much. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Broken Windows 256. We're hitting 1,000 by the way,
Yes,
man.
we're hitting 1,000 subscribers.
1K with constant viewership. There are those people viewing us like pornography. Thank you so much.
Thank you.